Welcome back to Nation of Glory, your ultimate destination for the most inspiring stories from the heart of Hollywood, where we celebrate the stars who light up our screens and touch our souls. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now because we're all about diving deep into the lives of legends, sharing tales of triumph, heartbreak, and unbreakable spirit that make you feel like you're right there with them. Today, my friends, we're embarking on an emotional journey through the life of one of Hollywood's most beloved icons, Sandra Bullock. Oh, Sandra, where do I even begin? She's not just an actress, she's a force of nature, a woman who's turned personal storms into cinematic sunshine, and her story is one that will have you laughing, tearing up, and cheering all at once. Picture this: a little girl with a voice as sweet as her dreams, bouncing between countries, facing the ups and downs of life, only to rise as the queen of the box office. This isn't just a biography, it's a heartfelt ode to resilience, love, and the kind of glory that comes from never giving up. So grab your popcorn, settle in, and let's unfold the incredible saga of Sandra Bullock, the woman who reminds us that even in the darkest times, there's always a way to speed toward the light. Let's start at the very beginning, because every great story has roots that run deep, and Sandra's are as colorful and complex as a tapestry woven from different worlds. Born on July 26, 1964, in Arlington County, Virginia, Sandra Annette Bullock came into this world with a blend of American grit and European elegance. Her dad, John Wilson Bullock, was an army man and a part-time voice coach from Alabama, a guy with that southern charm and a passion for music. He met her mom, Helga Matilda Meyer, while stationed in Nuremberg, Germany. Helga was an opera singer and voice teacher, a true artist with a voice that could move mountains. They fell in love, got married in Germany, and that's where Sandra's multicultural adventure began. Can you imagine the emotions swirling in that household? A rocket scientist grandfather on her mom's side, whispers of innovation and intellect, mixed with the soulful tunes of opera. For the first 12 years of her life, Sandra lived in Nuremberg, West Germany, and then hopped to Vienna and Salzburg in Austria. She spoke German fluently, attended a Waldorf school where creativity was king, and even studied ballet and vocal arts. As a kid, she'd tag along on her mom's European opera tours, taking tiny roles in productions and singing in the children's choir. It must have been magical, those grand stages, the applause echoing through historic theaters, but it wasn't all glamour. There were moments of loneliness, you know. Her mom's absences meant staying with her Aunt Crystal and cousin Suzanne, building that early independence but also planting seeds of yearning for a stable home. And then there was that childhood mishap, a fall into a creek that left a scar above her left eye. It's a small mark, but it symbolizes those early vulnerabilities, the little scars we all carry that shape who we become. When the family finally returned to Arlington, Virginia, her dad took on roles with the Army Materiel Command and later as a contractor for the Pentagon. Sandra had a younger sister, Jacine, who would later become a key player in her production company. Growing up bilingual and bicultural, Sandra even held dual American and German citizenship, applying for the German one in 2009, gave her this unique empathy, this ability to connect with people from all walks of life. It's no wonder her performances feel so real, they're drawn from a well of diverse experiences. High school at Washington Lee was where she really started to shine. She was a cheerleader, full of energy and spirit, and she dove into theater productions, letting her passion for acting take center stage. Graduating in 1982, she headed to East Carolina University in North Carolina for a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Drama, wrapping it up in 1987. There, she starred in plays like Peter Pan and Three Sisters, pouring her heart into every role. But college wasn't just about the stage, it was about finding herself, navigating the emotions of young adulthood, the doubts, the dreams. After graduation, she packed her bags for Manhattan, ready to chase the spotlight. To make ends meet, she bartended, waitressed cocktails, and checked coats, humble jobs that kept her grounded amid the rejection of auditions. Oh, the heartache of those early days. Knocking on doors, facing, no, after, no, but Sandra's spirit. Unbreakable, she took acting classes with the legendary Sanford Meisner, appeared in student films, and snagged a role in an off-Broadway play called No Time Flat. That performance caught the eye of director Alan J. Levi, who cast her in a made-for-TV movie, Bionic Showdown, The $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman in 1989. It was her foot in the door, a small victory that whispered, "Keep going, Sandra, your time is coming." Those late 80s and early 90s were a grind, filled with minor roles that tested her resolve. She led in the short-lived NBC sitcom Working Girl in 1990, a gig that didn't last but taught her the ropes of television. Independent films like Love Potion No. 9 in 1992, The Thing Called Love and Fire on the Amazon in 1993, and a supporting spot in Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone, they were stepping stones, each one building her confidence. But let's be real, there were emotional lows. Financial struggles, the fear of being typecast as the quirky sidekick, the isolation of Hollywood's hustle. Sandra poured her soul into these parts, drawing from her own life's ups and downs to make them authentic. And then, in 1994, came the role that changed everything, Annie Porter in Speed. Teaming up with Keanu Reeves, she played a everyday woman thrust into chaos, driving a bus that couldn't slow down without exploding. The chemistry reads were intense. She even rolled around on the floor to get into character. The film exploded at the box office, raking in over $350 million worldwide. Sandra won a Saturn Award for Best Actress and MTV Movie Awards for Best Female Performance and Most Desirable Female. Critics called her the spark in a terrific popcorn thriller, but for fans, it was more. It was seeing a woman take charge in a man's world, her fear turning to fierce determination. Emotionally, it mirrored Sandra's own journey. High stakes, heart-pounding risks, and ultimate triumph. Can you feel that rush? It's the kind of story that makes you root for the underdog, and Sandra became our collective hero. Riding that wave, the mid-90s brought a string of hits that showcased her emotional depth in both comedy and drama. In While You Were Sleeping in 1995, she played Lucy, a lonely transit worker who saves a man from a coma and gets mistaken for his fiancé. It's a rom-com classic, grossing $182 million, and earned her a Golden Globe nod. Her charm made the formula feel fresh, like a warm hug on a cold day. Then came The Net, where she's a programmer hunted by cybercriminals. Talk about prescient. It pulled in $110 million, and critics compared her wide-eyed vulnerability to Julia Roberts. These roles tapped into universal feelings: isolation, the search for connection, the courage to fight back. A Time to Kill in 1996 let her flex dramatic muscles as part of a legal team in a tense racial drama, earning MTV nods. But not everything was smooth. Speed 2, Cruise Control in 1997 was a flop she later joked about, a humbling reminder that even stars stumble. Yet, she bounced back with Hope Floats in 1998, playing a woman humiliated on national TV who rebuilds her life in her hometown. Grossing $81 million, it blended laughs and tears, showing Sandra's knack for light drama. Voicing Miriam in The Prince of Egypt that same year and directing her own short film, Making Sandwiches, added layers to her creativity. Practical Magic with Nicole Kidman, though a box office dud, became a cult favorite. Two witch sisters battling love's curses, echoing themes of family bonds and inner strength that hit home for so many. As the 90s faded into the 2000s, Sandra's star burned brighter, but her story grew richer with personal layers that made her even more relatable. Forces of Nature in 1999 paired her with Ben Affleck in a wild road trip romance, grossing $93 million with sparks flying. Miss Congeniality in 2000. Pure gold. As Gracie Hart, the tough FBI agent transforming into a beauty queen, she had us all laughing and cheering, pulling in $212 million and another Golden Globe nomination. She became America's sweetheart, but beneath the glamour were roles like 28 Days, where she played an alcoholic in rehab, bearing her soul in raw vulnerability. Murder by Numbers in 2002 flipped the script, casting her as a no-nonsense detective, proving she could be dark and complex. Teaming with Hugh Grant in 2 weeks' notice, as a lawyer ditching her eccentric boss, grossed $199 million. Their banter was electric, a testament to her comedic timing. And don't forget her producer hat. Through Fortis Films, she backed George Lopez's sitcom from 2002 to 2007, even guest starring as the accident-prone Amy. Winning the Raul Julia Award for boosting Hispanic opportunities in entertainment, it showed her heart for diversity, a quiet triumph in an industry often lacking it. The ensemble drama Crash in 2004 was a game-changer, winning her a Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Cast. Playing a privileged woman confronting her prejudices, it was hailed as her finest work yet, stirring emotions on race and humanity. But life threw curveballs. A 2000 private jet crash in a blizzard, where she walked away unscathed but shaken, a lawsuit against a builder for a faulty Texas home, which she won and rebuilt. These weren't just headlines. They were tests of her spirit, moments where fear could have won, but Sandra chose grace. By the late 2000s, she was unstoppable. The Proposal in 2009, as a book editor faking a marriage to stay in the U.S., grossed $317 million and nabbed another Golden Globe nod. Her chemistry with Ryan Reynolds was hilarious and heartfelt. Then came the role that defined a decade, Leanne Tui in The Blind Side. Initially hesitant about the Christian themes, she dove in, portraying a fierce adoptive mom helping a troubled teen. It grossed over $309 million, the first female-led film to top $200 million domestically. Winning the Oscar, Golden Globe, SAG, and Critics' Choice, plus a Razzie for All About Steve in the same year, she laughed it off, showing humility amid glory. Emotionally, this film touched hearts worldwide, inspiring stories of kindness and second chances, much like Sandra's own path of overcoming odds. In 2010, Time named her one of the 100 most influential people, and she topped the highest paid actress list. But Sandra chose quality over quantity, stepping back to nurture her personal world. Extremely loud and incredibly close in 2011, as a 9/11 widow, earned nods for its poignant grief. The Heat with Melissa McCarthy in 2013 was a buddy cop riot, grossing $230 million. Gravity that year, a masterpiece. As Dr. Ryan Stone, adrift in space, she carried the film alone, grossing $716 million. Her performance, raw vulnerability, intelligence, determination, earned Oscar, Golden Globe, and more nominations. It was cathartic, a metaphor for life's isolation and the will to survive, leaving audiences in awe. Post-2015, Sandra's choices were golden. Voicing the villain in Minions grossed over $1.1 billion. Our Brand is Crisis flopped but showed her depth as a political strategist. Ocean's 8 in 2018, leading an all-female crew, grossed $297 million, empowering women on screen. Bird Box on Netflix, as a mom in a post-apocalyptic world, shattered records with millions of views. The Unforgivable in 2021 explored redemption as an ex-con. The Lost City in 2022, a rom-com adventure, grossed $190 million, making her the first actress with $100 million hits across 4 decades. A cameo in Bullet Train added fun. And looking ahead to 2025 and beyond, she's set to reprise her role in Practical Magic 2, releasing in 2026. Imagine the magic she'll bring back to our screens. Awards. She's got an Academy Award, Golden Globe, and was People's Most Beautiful Woman in 2015. Her Hollywood Walk of Fame star and handprints at the Chinese theater immortalize her. But it's her personal story that tugs at the heartstrings. Married to Jesse James from 2005 to 2010, the infidelity scandal broke her world, but she fought for custody of his daughter and finalized the divorce with dignity. Adopting her son Louis in 2010 and daughter Layla in 2015 as a single mom, she found profound joy in family, shielding them from the spotlight. Stalking ordeals, from 2002 to 2014, tested her safety, yet she persevered. Her relationship with Brian Randall from 2015 to his passing from ALS in 2023 was a quiet love story, his loss a deep sorrow she honored privately. Through it all, her philanthropy shines. Millions donated to the Red Cross for disasters like 9/11, tsunamis, earthquakes, and hurricanes. She supported New Orleans post-Katrina, earning humanitarian awards, and even designed charity items for kids. Business-wise, Fortis Films produced her hits, and in Austin, she ran Bess Bistro and Walton's Fancy and Staple, blending food, flowers, and community until closing Bess in 2015. These ventures reflect her entrepreneurial heart, turning passions into places of warmth. Sandra Bullock's legacy. She's pioneered female-led films, blending comedy and drama with emotional authenticity. From global nomad to Oscar winner, her story of resilience inspires us to face our own speeds and gravities. She's proof that with heart, you can conquer anything. Thank you so much for joining me on this emotional ride through Sandra Bullock's glorious life here on Nation of Glory. If this story touched you, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend who needs some inspiration, and don't forget to subscribe for more Hollywood tales that uplift and entertain. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss out. Until next time, keep shining bright, because in the Nation of Glory, every star has a story worth telling. Take care.